and welcome to this new webinar, VIKTOR webinar. We are so happy you are here. Greetings to everyone in the community. Next to me, it's my colleague and friend, Stijn Jansen. Stijn is our Chief Product Officer. He knows everything about the product. And how are you doing, Stijn?
Very excited. Yeah, so this is the first time we're doing this. And we have been really developing a lot of very cool features last quarter.
Indeed.
So I'm super excited to show. We will do a lot of live demoing as well. So that's of course always exciting.
Yeah.
And
that's great. Yeah. And Stijn will be showing the latest features. I will be your host. I will try to ask Stijn the questions I think you could ask. But even better if you ask them themselves. So if you go to the webinar event in LinkedIn or on YouTube, you can ask those questions. I will get them here on the screen. I will show them, and then Stijn can answer them. So don't be shy. Just ask whatever you want to ask, and we will do our best to reply to them. And before we go into the presentation, we want to share with you that we are organizing UCode. And UCode is the Universal Conference on Digital Engineering. It will take place the 13th and the 14th of June in Rotterdam. So it's a live event. And it will have both a 2 days hackathon and a conference with all kinds of very interesting presentations from industry leaders. We're talking about parametric design, artificial intelligence, sustainability, collaboration, and digital transformation in general. So I highly, highly, highly recommend you join. And we will be giving some tickets away today. So to make chance of winning one of those tickets, the only thing you have to do is write down in the comments, I want to join UCode. Just write it in the comments. And at the end of this week, we will be giving these tickets away because we want to give people also that are not attending live some time to participate. So even if you're seeing the recording, you have until Friday to add your comments. And we'll be giving a few tickets away.
Nice. Maybe, Anand, it's also nice that we can give a ticket away to the one with the best question.
Okay. So also the one that asks the best question will get the ticket automatically. So that's great. Good deal. We'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, Stijn. So with that said, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Thank you, Anand. All right. So let's start with, we expect that there will be a lot of people, of course, who know VIKTOR already, but it could be that there are also people who don't know VIKTOR yet. So for that reason, I would like to very shortly explain what VIKTOR actually is. So what VIKTOR is, it's an app development platform which empowers engineers to build and share user-friendly web apps with nothing but Python, or even without code at all. So that's also a bit of a teaser towards what I will be showing later on. So this is really the basics of our platform, focused on engineers using Python. You can easily build these web applications. And what we believe in is that these web applications, there are certain levels of automation that you can reach. So if you look at the lower part, what we also offer in our platform is simple out-of-the-box apps with which you can automate simple tasks. And then you have the possibility to make that more advanced as you go. So for example, if you look at a simple tool, that could be where you usually would have an Excel sheet and that you turn that into a VIKTOR app. And the big advantage of that is that you can control it easily. You can give access via the web. You can make sure that there are not all kinds of versions. So these simple tools you can create really easily. But what's also possible with our platform is that you make that more advanced. So if you go up, then you can even go to very extensive apps. So for example, this is a picture of an app of the Fehmarnbelt link. That's the longest immersed tunnel. It's a project which being built now between Germany and Denmark. And for this project, there's an app created with which the whole structural design and part of the geotechnical design of the tunnel is automated. So this is really high level of automation. But what we offer with our platform is this whole range of these kind of apps, and that makes us quite unique. There's just a lot to do there. So that's just a general introduction. So our platform, you can make these web applications. So what have we been working on lately? We had two main goals the last quarter. So one is seamless integration with BIM. So what we have noticed that our platform is used a lot for doing all kinds of analysis. So for example, doing structural analysis, those kind of things. But also we noticed more and more from our customers and from the community that some interaction with BIM models or CAD models is something that was, a lot of people would like to see and to see improved as well. So we did a lot of developments on that side, of which I will show the features later on. And the other important thing that we worked on is that we made when you start with VIKTOR and start creating apps, to make that a lot easier, and also for a broader group of engineers. So also if you have limited Python knowledge or no Python knowledge, that you can easily start with using VIKTOR. So I will dive into that later. So first we will focus on the BIM theme. What are the features that we have developed so far? One important thing is that we improved our Grasshopper integration. We have created an IFC view with which you can also interact in a nice way. We have included geometry interaction. I will all explain that later on. And an important part is that we have opened up our API, and that means that you can easily connect with all kinds of software. And one very exciting thing that we are also showing is that using this API, we made a Revit plugin, and with that you can just easily from Revit dive into that later. So let's just dive in first into the Grasshopper integration, and then immediately I will show a bit about VIKTOR. So this is the VIKTOR environment. Here you can have all kinds of apps. To first show Grasshopper. So the possibility that you have with VIKTOR is to integrate with Grasshopper, basically. So what you will see here, you see here a web interface, and basically you have all kinds of input parameters, and around there's a Grasshopper model running. So what you will see is that in this case, there's a sunlight analysis done with Grasshopper, and if I change parameters, then what we have done recently as the way in which you can integrate with Grasshopper, we improved that a lot. So we made it a lot easier to do this and to build these kind of apps. How this works, you can all find in the documentation. I won't show that extensively now, but this is a development that we're very proud of. Second one, what we have been doing, that's related to IFC. Example app on this. These apps are just publicly available, so you can always, after the webinar, also play around with them yourself. You can find them via the website, or if this is just a public. So what you see over here is that IFC is, of course, a lot used. So what you can do with VIKTOR now as well is that you can easily work with IFCs and visualize them. So you can upload a model. Now is that we have a dedicated IFC view, and what you will see is that this visualized here. And what's quite nice is that you also can get all kinds of course, in an IFC, there's a lot of information and properties behind the IFC. So what you can see here is that you can get all these properties. You can easily visualize them based on your IFC. So that's one thing. And what's also nice is that what we now added is that you can also interact with this IFC. So let's say, for example, that you want to do a certain analysis where you would like to know, okay, how many square meters of wall is there, or that you want to say of a specific walls. Then what you can now do is that you can select specific things on the IFC. And based on this selection, you can do further analysis. So this is just a very simple demo app to show, but you see now here that these are the the elements that I have selected. And yeah, on these elements, you can calculate all kinds of stuff or do other analysis as well, or turn this into a structural model. Yeah, and that's something new as well, that the selection, so that you can also interact with this IFC view, that's something which is, yeah, which we recently released. For Ananda,
Yeah,
or,
we have one question. It's here on the screen. You can read it. Is it
is it possible to integrate with ACC Autodesk or just uploading the model? Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, so basically,
what is ACC Autodesk to start with? For everyone.
Yeah, so that's Autodesk Construction Cloud. So that's a way. So Autodesk also offers a way to talk with yeah, via the web, basically, that you can integrate. Yeah, this is definitely possible. So that's a good note. So basically, since our platform is just based on Python, you can easily from Python also communicate with that. So then you could also say, for example, okay, I link yeah, just towards a model which is already somewhere in the cloud, instead of that you have to upload the model. So that's indeed a very good point, because I can imagine that sometimes that's, yeah, a workflow which is more easy. Yeah.
Another question also regarding integrations. It's more asking if you can also integrate with a database.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, again, I think it's a bit of the same answer. So again, here, since it's based on Python, our platform, and you can use any the newest versions of Python as well, and you can also use all the packages you want in Python. And since from Python you can also, yeah, quite easily, of course, query all kinds of databases. Yeah, that's also possible to do that in VIKTOR.
Last question is from Leonardo, and he asked if the app you showed is made with the Grasshopper worker, and if we could share that example on GitHub.
It is actually on GitHub already. So that's indeed, it's indeed done with the Grasshopper worker.
Okay, so we'll be sharing the link down in the comments.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Okay, great.
All right. Well, so let's go to the next one. So next to the interaction on a geometry or on an IFC, we also added now the possibility to interact with the geometry. So what's general, our framework is on the left-hand side, we have input, on the right-hand side, output or visualizations. But quite often, yeah, it's very handy if you can have some interaction between it. So this is something, actually, this is very new, this feature. This is just released. So yesterday, I quickly made this demo app to show you the possibilities. So what you see here, so this is just a parametric model. In this case, you can have some parametric model. In this case, you can, as you can see, I can just play with some. Next to that, I would like to place some columns. So what I can now do is that I can select some locations where I would like to place a column. And what you will see is that here these columns are visualized. Let's say that I would like to add some floors as well. I can also select some locations where I can add some floors. These floors are visualized as well. And then another really cool thing is that you can also make this more complex by saying, for example, okay, I would like to add a balcony at a certain between 2 points. So I can say, okay, I want a balcony. Also, you can connect parameters to that. So, for example, as you can see, I can exchange the width. I could also change the color. And this way, I can even add more, yeah. So, yeah, and this opens up a lot of possibilities. This interaction, as you can see, it's not only about you can really build a geometry and make it really nice. And yeah, this is just a very simple example, but I'm very excited to see. We often see that then in the community there is a lot of things being built with this. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what kind of things you guys will come up with to develop with this, because it opens up a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, and Sven, I haven't seen this example because you made it yesterday night.
Yeah.
It's very, very fresh. But I was wondering, could you use this, for example, to make a finite element model, and that you could, I don't know, select some geometry and say, I want to use those slabs in the finite element model, of I want to apply loads on a certain location?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Definitely. Yeah. So that's a very good point. So you could indeed add, for example, or combine that with an IFC, that you, for example, upload an IFC model and then say, hey, I want to apply loads on these walls or on these floors as well. So indeed, those kind of things are possible. And then since we have integrations with, for example, finite element software, you could then, connect with that as well. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Okay. Nice. Right. Yeah. Then let's get back to the slides. As as already mentioned, is the API. So just to dive into this a bit further. So what do we often see how VIKTOR is already used a lot is that you can integrate with a package from VIKTOR. So for example, this is something that happens a lot. That for example, just an example, a structure engineer has a VIKTOR app with which you have an integration with CA Engineer, so a finite element. Basically, you can, as I just showed in the Grasshopper model, for example, you can fill in parameters and then you can really nicely automate this process, generate your model, get the results back, etc. And what we use for this is a worker, as we call it. And with this worker, you can make this integration. And then the user working in VIKTOR and the model is generated automatically.
That's the way it works with Grasshopper, not? So the user uses the app, and on the background, the software is running it.
Exactly. Yeah, and we have a lot of integrations to do with, to make this flow possible. And actually, we have a generic way in which you can do this with any package. However, what we also see often is that, for example, let's take this case. It's often, for example, that someone generates, the model is generated in Revit, for example, by a BIM engineer. And then the structure engineer continues with this model, right? So, and as we already showed, you could work with an upload, those kind of things. But what's also possible now is that you can connect this via the API. So basically what we mean, and let's say that everything that you do in the interface, so for example, upload a model, you can also do this via the API, so in an automated way. And in this way, this opens up a lot of possibilities. So just to show you how this workflow...
And because we have a few questions, so maybe it's a good time to ask them before we move to the next topic. It's regarding interaction. So people are asking if it's also possible to interact with the Plotly.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, so this is not possible yet, but this is a very fair point. We are working on this as well. Yeah, to make it possible with the Plotly view as well.
Coming soon, then.
Coming soon. Yeah.
And there is are there some limitations regarding the FC files you can upload?
So of course, IFC files can get really big, and at the end, it's a web app. We allow for quite big files. I don't know that by heart, but indeed, it's generally the case. If the IFC files become really big, loading takes a bit more time because it has to go via the internet. But in general, we have tested it with quite heavy IFC files, and with that, it still works.
So let's continue.
Okay. So just to show you what we have created, to show this is we have made a first version, a beta version of a Revit plugin. And so basically you see here a VIKTOR app. And in this case, this is just Revit, and we have created this VIKTOR plugin, as you can see. And what is now possible is that you can just link to a specific piece in your VIKTOR environment. So to this plugin converts the Revit model to C, and then this IFC is automatically via the API pushed to the VIKTOR app. And so you see that that's so the converting takes visualize this as well, and then you can go from there. Of course, from here you can also then select certain things, etc. This is a first step that we made here. It's also possible to retrieve information from the app as well. So there are a lot of possibilities. We have limited time now. We will share also some more. In the coming time, we will share more examples of what's possible. But this plugin, we can. This is a beta version. So if you would like to use it, just contact us. And then, we are very excited about further developing this and seeing what's possible.
And because you said behind each VIKTOR app there is a database, but can you interact only with the data, or can you also run a calculation? For example, modify this plugin and ask SIA to calculate the structure of the building and import that back to your Revit model.
That's also possible. Yeah, indeed. So that's indeed something that's basically everything that you do in the interface you can do via the API. So this is exactly a very interesting use case where you could also build an indeed app with some logic and then fire that app and then get the results back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So basically, there's what the API, it makes it possible to connect any software package to your VIKTOR app. We have documented the API extensively. So with that, you can find how you can do this, and we also make more and more examples of how you can connect specific packages. So that we can help you out with that. And of course, just reach out if you have any questions regarding this. Then just reach out, and we will try to help you out as good as possible. Time is going quite fast. One more time for the people who came a bit later.
Yeah.
We are organizing UCode. It's a conference, 13th and 14th of June in Rotterdam.
And you can win a free ticket by putting in the comments, I want to be in UCode. And Stein decided that we will also give away a ticket for the people asking the best questions. So there's a ticket there also for you. So if you're interested, and come. It will be an amazing event. It will be a 2 days hackathon, and we will have some conferences, some talks, both strategic and on technical level. And we'll talk about parametric design, artificial intelligence, sustainability, and digital transformation in general. So we would love to see you here. And if you want to see more information, scan the QR code or go to the URL that's down. I will also put it in the comments so you can see it later.
Yeah. Okay, great. So next topic, make it easier to start creating apps. And what we have done here, it's connected also to the levels of automation, is that what we really want to provide with our platform is basically this learning journey. So how you can get from simple out-of-the-box apps towards these extensive apps. And what we have noticed is that sometimes in the beginning, it can be quite hard of learning something new. And same holds for sometimes what we notice with VIKTOR, that people are can be quite in the beginning. Okay, you have to, maybe you don't have any experience with Python, you have to install Python, those kind of things. And this is something that we have been addressing with this topic, that we make it really easier to start. We have done this by several features, which I will now show. Right. So the first thing that we have done is that we included this Learn page. So what you see here is that in this Learn page, there are all kinds of interesting content. Here, there's all kinds of videos and tutorials with which will help you a lot with learning VIKTOR. This is the first thing that we have done, and yeah, we already noticed that helps a lot. Next thing that we have done, what we also noticed, is that when you start developing, just let me go to this environment. That when you can just start developing as well. And the new thing that we have done, and I will not go through the whole flow now, but what we have added, and which we are really excited about, is that you can also do it develop now based on GitHub code spaces. So what does this mean? The usual way of developing an app is that you do run the app locally on your computer, but now you can also do it completely in the browser. Code spaces, that's a really nice way in which you can just code in the browser. And this, sometimes people are not allowed to install anything on your machine, for example. And using code spaces, you can just do it completely in the browser. And if you go through this flow, we completely show you how this is done, how you can create a code space, and then start coding based on.
When you make an app on GitHub code spaces, is your app public?
No, not necessarily. So you can keep your code also secure in GitHub. They have a free model in which you can already spaces quite a lot, but you can, of course, you can make it public as well, but you can also just keep it private. Okay, so that's the first thing. Another thing that we have added is a guided onboarding flow. So you see here the first part of this flow. So basically you can create this part, but then also when you then start with developing your first app, you will be guided through several steps in which you show, okay, first, how can you, that you create a 3D model, etc. So there's just in this flow a lot more guidance which help developers to go through this flow. Okay. The other thing which is quite new, and that's mainly for also people who experience, but also we notice that people are using it already who do have some experience with Python, is that we have created a visual builder. And basically what you can do here is that you can create a VIKTOR app visual way. So for example, you can easily steps, you can say, okay, yeah, I have a certain step 1, etc. I can add all kinds of fields that are available, and based on this, you can add all the views. So, for example, if you would like to review, and then if you then create this app, you can generate a blueprint, and then just shows you the VIKTOR code. So this we see that this can help a lot in understanding how this code can be set up, and then from here you can this and then start from there.
Yeah, and we already have some positive feedback there.
Okay.
So Leonardo is very happy with the visual code.
Ah, nice. Oh, that's really cool. It's a lot. That's what we do it for. All right, so this is also still a beta feature. We are continuously improving this, but really great to see that this is already used. And then the last thing, because we are almost running out of time, but we're exactly on time, is that what the thing that not released yet. So this is the sneak peek, but what we are creating as well is that you can create an app based on templates. So what you see here is that we have all kinds of templates which we will be extending. So for example, with the question that we just thought about the grasshopper analysis app, you can actually just take this app. You will see here example. You can show the demo. That's what I already showed, but also you can just go to the repository, and here you can just have all the code available. And actually, then we also made it just one click where you can take this code, pull it into your development workspace, and start working on that as well. So this still is not released yet. So this is just a sneak peek, but this is something that will be coming soon. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
Time flies. We're really happy that you were here. yeah, so for those that have not tried VIKTOR yet, yeah, go to the website. You can use it for free. We have a free version, which is very extended. It's not a trial, so you can use it for free forever. So I will say go, try it out, give us your feedback. Yeah, and welcome to the club, I will say.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone for being here. Thanks, Stijn, for showing all the cool features. Yeah, it's super exciting to see what's happening. And see you here in the next update.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
See you.